Hello, my name's Thor Gibbons, and I am the co-director of the Leatherstocking Writing Project and associate professor at SUNY Oneonta in secondary English and literacy education. And I helped kind of write and design the Young Video Game Designer Institute that was developed by the Leatherstocking Writing Project in reality to give rural youth access to writing enrichment programs who may not have had access to such programs due to a lot of myriad factors of limited access. Most schools within our geographic footprint are rural central schools in high concentrations of poverty that have limited access to internet. For some, internet access may not even be available due to the remoteness of the geography and lack of infrastructure to provide equitable access to internet. Our goal was to then bring the kids in and do some highly engaging writing enrichment in the form of video game design, where youth can write, design, and produce video games for real-world audiences. And we also design our institutes as well to provide professional development experiences for educators who may be interested in incorporating elements of video game design to enrich and kind of create authentic writing experiences or composition experiences for their kids. So in the summer of 2019, we held 3 institutes. One for kids in grades 4 and 5, and one for kids in middle school. And we also held one for educators. That one was for 3 days. Each one was, the kids one was for a week long, and the institute for the educators was 3 days. And we primarily used the program GameStar Mechanic as kind of the basic introduction to learning how to talk and write and speak about video game design, and then actually allow them to produce playable video games that they could share with their friends, family, or even other kids throughout the world. This summer, we had planned to extend our institutes to grades 2 and 3, kind of the Junior Video Game Design Institute, and we would also extend upwards for our returning attendees that did the 2019 Institute and high school kids. However, with the stay-at-home order, we had to kind of redesign our institute for online delivery. So we did do this. We did implement all these institutes this summer, but we had to rethink and redesign how we were going to change from what we had planned for face-to-face to actually doing it online. And we did it kind of online, both synchronous online meetings and asynchronous kind of mechanisms or platforms. For our synchronous online platforms, we use Discord, and there's a reason why we use Discord, is because this is the primary hangout space for a lot of kids now for the last 2 years. And so even before kind of the more stay-at-home kind of orders, Discord has kind of been the hangout space for kids and youth anyway, because a lot of kind of physical public spaces, youth have been kind of pushed out of kind of the public spaces, and so youth are kind of creating their own network publics where they can hang out with each other, and Discord is the primary one. So we use Discord for our synchronous meetings, and the kids took to it really naturally and were able to kind of navigate the features of Discord and the channels of Discord. And we use YouTube, so our leadership team, our teachers, I was a part, we created YouTube videos for asynchronous walkthroughs, like how to do Discord, how to open up the GameStar mechanic programs and create a username and account, and then for our master camp for the high school kids and the returning attendees, we had a program called Construct 3. So I created walkthrough videos where I actually designed a base level of a game, or a 1 level of a game, using Construct 3, and so I had a series of a playlist of a series of walkthrough videos of me struggling my way through kind of learning how to work with Construct 3. And we also used our webpage. Our webpage gave us parents and caregivers and the kids access to our kind of curriculum for the day. So we would create a daily blog post, and we would give us the times, and we would also go over the learning objectives and kind of the deliverables for today. So for example, the 4th day of our Young Video Game Designer Institute was all about designing a game, and the time they would meet, we'd do Circle Up, where we'd talk and reflect about what we were doing and kind of give feedback and go over kind of adding new elements to what they were working with. We'd also, then we would they could leave kind of the Discord meeting and then go and just on their own work with the program, and then come back at what we would call them like optional office hours, where they can come back, ask questions, struggling, or chat. One thing I found when I was working with the high school kids in the Discord is the kids never really left. They stayed on Discord through the entire time they were composing their games and kind of chatted and shared ideas, gave me some tips as I was doing it as well. And then we would meet up occasionally and get ready and prepare ourselves for Author's Chair, which was the final task for both the 2019 and the 2020 camp, was to have students present their games in a manner similar to how professional video game design companies present their upcoming video games to the public at, say, like an E3 conference, where you have Squaresoft and Bethesda Games and all these wonderful video game design companies, video game companies, showcase their games, where they show a walkthrough and they have the design crew and the producers of the video games have conversations with the audience. And so that's what we wanted to create them. So another kind of element of kind of writing across the curriculum was kind of this oral presentation and celebration. So really kind of going off what you would see as Author's Chair if you're thinking about a writing workshop method. The E3 conference is very similar to the Author's Chair. And so even online in this last summer, we spent an hour and a half, the kids walking through and playing through their videos and giving feedback. I think it was highly successful in the fact that we had to completely do a 180 when we realized that we wouldn't be able to get kids into a face-to-face area where we could hang out and play games together and share our ideas. We had to kind of get creative with that. And so that is our next goals, are to actually extend this, continue, hopefully going back to face-to-face. We do have some consoles have kids work with when we get back to face-to-face, with Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4, with Super Mario Maker, where you can design Mario levels. And then the Sony PlayStation has this program called Dreams, which actually is you can compose and produce and share a video game through a console. So those are some exciting ideas. We're going to continue working with Construct 3 and eventually move to an even higher, another level. So for kids that have maybe done this institute for 2 years, maybe moving it to using Godot. And Godot is a real video game. Well, Construct 3 is, but Godot is very similar to Unreal or Unity in terms of look and feel of kind of the user interface, and it does require some level of coding. So our next step is actually to bring in coding into our writing enrichment program, because our design team and in particular feel that coding is a language art and could be there's a potential for including coding in the language arts, because it provides equitable access to all kids, because all kids need to take English language arts class, and some kids might not have access to an enrichment program around coding otherwise. So that's kind of our next kind of move. I look forward to hearing any questions. Feel free to find us on YouTube at the Leather Stocking Writing Project, and we have some playlists. We also have some videos on teacher playing games. So look forward to hearing any feedback and questions, and thank you for letting me share.